Hey guys, this is a live trade that I have pending here on the USD Canadian 4-hour chart here. So this is exactly what we spoke about in yesterday's webinar. Unfortunately, as you guys know, I lost that webinar. So those of you that were there are going to understand this a little bit better. Those that weren't, you'll get to understand that now. So this is a pretty basic squeeze formation we have here on the USD Canadian. So you basically have this nice steady uptrend, and then price starts to consolidate down as you know often happens here. And we consolidate it down in a way that indicates that price is looking to pop out. Now, it can pop down, but based on the bullishness of this trend, we're looking for it to pop up. And the reason for that is this aspect of what price is doing here. And this aspect here is divergent. So every time price makes a new low, it shoots higher. Every time price makes a new low, it shoots higher. Makes a new low, and then boom, shoots higher, and we pop out of this descending trend line here. So, you know, you can draw this like this. I really ideally would have wanted to see a one last little touch around here that would make it perfect, but it's okay because we're not only closing outside of this pattern, we're closing above the big round number here, this parity level. Really just ideal stuff here. So pretty simple here. I'm just buying a break, stop goes below the low, and really we'll just want to see how this progresses as we break here. Well, generally, in this case here, I'll be looking towards the touches of the trend line for my trouble areas. So I'm going to consider this the first trouble area. We do have a little minor flip here, right around where our breakout is. So right around here. So, you know, if we can get above here, my entry, and then this area in here hold, that would be great. This, you know, boxed here, this big round number. And then we'll work our way towards this first trouble area. But I set my take profit towards the top of the pattern, the base of the pattern here. But again, we'll always see what information comes in and how we progress, and we'll work from there. Alright guys, just a quick update here. So price is broken out, triggered our order here, and it's a good strong break, which is really kind of what you want to see here. You don't really want price to break and then have to pull back, because this trend line becomes further away as we move higher, because price, as time increases here, that retreat to that trend line as protection for, say, a pullback is going to be further away. So while I'm not going to move my stop up yet, I am really, again, watching this sort of overall zone we're in right here. So, you know, if price wants to pull back around in this area, that's okay, but I don't really want to see it get too far under here. You know, this would sort of be that, like, limit right here. So you can see that boxing on top of boxing here. But now that we already sort of broke away from that, I sort of look at that as holding. So, you know, you could get your stop up tight here, but because I think we have a potential for a larger move, again, you got to sort of allow a little bit more room. So I'm not going to move my stop yet. If we get to here, I'll move my stop underneath this current bar, or possibly break even, more likely under this bar low, and then see if we can break through that area as well too. So we'll just sort of see what happens here. Again, I have not moved my stop yet, but I am closely watching.
All right, guys, just a quick update here. So prices moved really nice here through my entry. You know, this is really what you want to see when you have such a tight breakout here. So when you see price squeeze as we did, and again, this is something I talked about in last night's webinar, you know, you hit that breaking point where price really just needs to burst out. So when you see this continuation, it really validates your story. It really validates what you're looking at here. So again, I haven't done much here. I didn't move my stop to about halfway here, so I reduced a little over half my risk. Again, I sort of just want to see what happens. You know, we're hitting the off-market hours now. We've hit our major first trouble area. You know, there's some minor price pivot zones right around here that price may start to use. Might use this area as well to get above here. So I'm just going to see what happens here. I haven't gone to break even yet. I haven't moved my stop loss under here quite yet. Again, I'm very much watching this, but you know, just sort of going to let things pan out here. This is really your next major area. It's a good take profit area too, instead of maybe trying to fight into these highs. But again, nice strong momentum here, so we'll just see how it plays out. All right, guys, just a quick update here. So not much has happened really overnight here into early morning, but I've got to now reduce my risk from, again, underneath the bar to, you know, halfway up to under this current bar low, this big breakout bar here. We sort of just teetered around this first major trouble area. You know, we did sort of try to test down in these lows here, but at this point, now that we're making a new high here, I'd really like to see some progress towards this top of this box here. where I may take profit. But again, at this point, I wanted to reduce the majority of my risk. So we're not quite break even, but at this point, this is very little risk here, which really makes it a pretty carefree trade at this point. So again, when there's another update, I will update this video. All right, guys. So just another quick update here. So I'm now finally at break even. So this is a risk-free trade. Again, I'm sort of watching what we do here. I think we could bounce here and it could give us some trouble. So I may take profit here. It is getting later in the day. Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, which could be profit taking. I haven't really decided yet. I'm kind of just watch and really just go based on my gut and see how price reacts. If we can cut through here, great. We're going to get above there and see if that can hold. Perfect. We can lock in some profit at that point. I'm probably even going to lock in some profit in a little bit under this last low too. But again, just waiting, just watching, and a risk-free trade is really always what we're looking for. All right, guys, just a final update here. I've decided to just go ahead and close this one out. It's afternoon now. It's a slower time of the market. We're coming into a Friday. This is another major trouble area. It's not that I don't really think that we should really retest these highs. I'm always looking at things as sort of what's more likely to happen or what's a likely scenario. And I could really see us retracing, somewhere close to my stop loss here, which is at break even. And it's not worth giving up, 3% of profit here about to get this next move up. I think there's a more likely chance that we do retrace first. I don't know how deep that retrace is. So again, I'm going to just jump out here for a nice profit. And again, it could keep going. It could drift higher, and that's okay too.